All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. All right, real quick, man. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday, man. Hold on, guys. All right, that should be a little better. Sorry about that. So first of all, apologize for the absence. But as y'all know, man, wasn't feeling the best. Barely got through the NFL Super Bowl. And I apologize for, not being as present, but we back, man. We back. We feeling better, so I'm back in it. Back at it. The Toronto Raptors versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Shout out to everyone that was a part of the live stream, man. We had a lot of fun on there. Tonight, the Toronto Raptors closed the deal. I thought it was times in this game where, they kind of, I don't want to say took their foot off the gas, because the T-Wolves is definitely a viable team. But the reason why I was so interested in this game, because these are the question mark games. These are the games where you're going to find out, like, you want to see how they handle the lack of a big man. Not having a prototypical big man to guard against a Karl Anthony Towns or your Joel Embiid, your jokers, you know what I'm saying? The big guys. So I really want to pay close attention to this game. Tonight, Karl Anthony Towns was 9 of 14, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Efficient, only took 14 shots, 24 points. The thing with me, to me, I didn't think he hurt them. He's a star. He's a superstar, so he's going to get his points. To me, the offensive rebound is the one that bothered me when it came to this game. And sometimes I feel like they had to overhelp which he demands it. So they kind of over-rotated to him sometimes, which gave easy shots or easy rebounds. And I think that's the challenge that they welcome. They understand what it is. Now, tonight, there was no steady Freddie, which is obviously, a key miss for them. Tonight, the second leading scorer was McDaniels off the bench. Patrick Beverly came in. We were talking about him during the live. Little Nat at the barbecue. The way his style of player it can be irritating to a team, right? It can be very irritating to a team, but I don't think a team like Toronto is not going to affect them, because they're not going to get out of character. There's no one on that team that want to just stick their chests up and go and take that personal. Like, they're not going to fall for that bait. I think a lot of time Pat Beverly and the things he done, someone, I think it was Chris Allen, pointed out he got a 3-year extension. That's why. Because of the things he do and the way he can affect the game offensively and defensively. Sorry if I sound a little funny. I got a little cough off my mouth. But it's sometimes the way he can affect the game is great for he's, like I always say, is a person, if he's on your team, you love him. If not on your team, you hate him. But I don't think that those type of games really work with a team like Toronto, against a team like Toronto. It's just not. But talk about the Toronto Raptors, man. Tonight, obviously, no steady Freddie. That's a big loss. Gary Trent Jr., I thought he came out. He just really set the tempo early. Got them out the starting gates. They were 10 of 24, 5. He was 10 of 24, 5 of 12 from the 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 30 points. And he did a lot of damage early, which to me is key for this team. Because a lot of times the Raptors can get behind. Like, they can fall behind when they're, they don't come out the gate as strong. So to have someone like Gary Trent Jr. to come out early and like, I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to set the tempo, and then they don't have to worry about those come from behind wins. And they're more than capable of doing that, but why put yourself through that when all you got to do is be able to be a lot more aggressive early? Next behind him was Pascal Siakam, 7 of 17, 0 for 1 from 3, 8 rebounds, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 17 points. Not a huge point thing. Not a huge point game, but again, you hear the 9 rebounds, the 9 assists. I say this all the time. You gotta, when you're not getting 25, blah blah blah. How do you affect the game in other ways? You cannot be a player that when your numbers ain't up and your points ain't up, it affects the rest of your game. Like, no, you keep being aggressive. The buckets might not be falling. You keep being aggressive, and you play hard on both ends. Shout out to the Toronto Raptors for that. This is the type of game right here, man, that I want to pay close attention to because, to me, the team that's going to give them the most problems come playoff is going to be the team with the big man, right? It's going to be that team with the Joel Embiid, you know what I'm saying, the Giannis and the bigger guys that can be real dominant in the middle. That's going to be the teams that give them the so you want to see, and I think this is an early test, and we're going to see as they get closer and closer toward the playoff, especially after the All-Star game. I'm going to really be zoning in on those games where they're playing the teams with the big man, because I think the way they play works. But the kryptonite to the way they play, if a big man can really just get going in the playoff, in the paint. Sorry, if they can get going in the paint, it can cause, it can really disrupt what they do. So I'm really paying attention because I got certain games marked on the calendar, and it's the game against these guys because I thought they were gonna do something as far as that position at the trade deadline, but they didn't. They wrote it out. They did get Young in there. He played tonight. I seen great effort and hustle from him. He gave you 10 points tonight, 5 of 10, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. So I mean that's good. You got some value for that trade because those numbers don't exist. Because if that was Dragic, that number don't happen because Dragic wasn't playing. So you automatically won the trade because you got rid of Dragic and that contract, and you got somebody back, and he gave you 10 points. You've won that trade, regardless. So shout out to them for that. Precious gave you 11 tonight. OG gave you 10 tonight. Scotty Barnes gave you 9. Birch gave you 8. I love the fact, because we always hear me talk about, running the starters into the ground, high minutes. I love the fact that you're getting Birch in there. You're getting Young in there. Boucher in there. Precious in there. These guys all got 20+ minutes. And that's the way to preserve the starters. So your starting lineup is strong. You've seen what the starting lineup can do, but you got to be able to play these role guys to like take some of that pressure and emphasis off of the starters. So it's gonna be interesting to see how all this plays out. But I love the little adjustment for now that they've made. It's gonna be interesting to see how they adjust in the playoffs. But I know those minutes are gonna go up, which is absolutely critical. But congratulations to the Toronto Raptors, man. They had to leave. They gave up the lead, came back and won by double digits. Got that dub. Congratulations to Raptor Nation. And they passed that first test against a big man. They passed one of the ones I'm really paying close attention to. So with that being said, guys, please like, come subscribe to the channel. Most importantly, you guys be great, man.